I'm Deon from Newfoundland, Canada. Welcome to my Flosstube channel, Stitching on the Rock. We are at episode 46. Hi. Welcome. If you're new, thanks for checking out my video. Please subscribe. If you're one of my old subscribers, I'm so glad that you keep coming back, and I'm thrilled to see everyone. I apologize, I'm a couple of days late with my video. I usually video on Mondays every 3 weeks. Monday I was not feeling the best. I don't know if I picked up a stomach bug or if it was something I ate, but I didn't feel up to a video. Then yesterday was pretty busy. I went Christmas shopping with my sister, trying to find gifts for my child. For those of you who are new, I have a son who's 16 and a half. He has autism and ADHD. He's a brilliant boy. He loves computers, and he wants an old computer that he can figure out how it works and break it down and put it back together. So if you know where I can get like a 10-year-old computer in St. John's, comment below. He's going to be a bit disappointed with the clothes that's under the tree. Even though he needs that, he won't stop growing. He's getting taller every day, I swear. Excuse me. Then after we went shopping, it was like lunchtime, and then by the time I got lunch done and a couple of things done around the house, it was time to pick Aaron up from school. And then after school, my mom stopped by for a bit, and then Aaron had a bit of studying to do for tests, so I usually review with him. And then it was time for him to go to his dad's for the evening, and then I was like, okay, time to do the video. I gathered up everything I wanted, brought it all down to the living room, sat in front of my tree so I could get the tree in the video because it looks really nice this year. Started, phone rang. Stopped, I wasn't very far in. So after restarted the video, got about a third of the way in, phone rang. My mom. My phone never rings, never rings. And then I said, well, I'll check to see where I ended and I'll restart the video. And the only thing you saw was Aaron's computer chair across the room. I had forgot to flip the camera around. Said, okay, starting at the beginning. Did the whole video. Said, now I'll try and edit it before Aaron gets home from his dad's. There was no video. Don't know what happened. So I said this and went to bed when Aaron got home and said, I'm going to try again today. So here we are. So you may get a pared down version or a quick version of what I was going to say. A couple of things I forgot in the last video. Tell you guys, I got new glasses. They're black. They have pink trim on the. They're really cute. I can't see 5 feet in front of me without my glasses, but I can't see to read or cross stitch with my glasses. So I kind of get to the point where I need the bifocals, but I told him, talk to me in 10 years. My sister says get reading glasses. I haven't gotten around to them. So these may turn up. They may be my older black ones, or they may be a really old turquoise pair, because I tend to put them down when I'm reading or cross-stitching, and then I can't remember where I put them, and I can't see to find them. So I just grab whichever pair is around the house and I come across. Anyway. And then one of my subscribers asked, I showed you guys this last video, my arm that attaches to my desk and that fits my Q-snap, excuse me. So there's nothing on this one, but it goes in here. And then I can tilt it and I can stitch, because this is where I stitch here at my desk. Someone asked where I got it. I forgot to tell you guys that I got it on Amazon. And that I did link it in the description of the last video if anyone is interested in one. And so far, it's been great. And the screws loosen up every once in a while, and I have to tighten everything. But other than that, I have no complaints. I usually use an 8x8 Q-snap, and that works perfectly. I have some 11x11. They are a little heavy for it. So I kind of just put the Q-snap in it and tip it so the bottom of the Q-snap is touching my leg, just to hold it. But I don't do any bigger than 11x11. And yeah, those are the two things I forgot from last video. notes might help. I'd like to tell you about life other than getting ready for Christmas, and I applaud anybody who does Flossmas and does a video every day, because I have been feeling like a chicken with his head cut off the last couple of weeks between the decorating and the shopping. And yeah, I love Christmas. I hate the Christmas prep. I haven't even thought about baking anything. My mom says she hasn't, my sister says she hasn't, so I'm not the only one. School's getting out on the 21st for a couple of weeks for Christmas. Aaron got his report card. His overall average was 75, which wasn't bad. Not as good as last year. His math mark really needs to come up. And yeah, I think that's about it for life. We had snow. We had like 5 centimeters, a couple of inches. Beautiful, fluffy, white snow. Looked perfect for Christmas cards. And then on Monday, it was 9 and foggy. And yesterday, it was 11 and rain. And now we have no snow. And we probably won't get any for Christmas. We don't usually have a white Christmas. Which you think would be, since we're out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, we would have snow for Christmas. But snow usually starts around January here. And some years it stays till May, which is yuck. Like, I'd rather have snow in December and it end in March. But not the way it is here. I guess that's it for life, you know. On to the cross stitch. So I have 2 FFOs. Both of which you saw finished in the last video. I have my sunflower. Oh, let's try that. Nope. There. Cover me up. How's that? Sunflowers in Summer by Cottage Garden. Oh, Country Cottage Needleworks. I tell you, every time I say it, I get the 2 of them mixed up. It's my modified version. These words were supposed to be above the house, and then there were more words below the house, but they had summer in them, and sunflowers here tend to be like August, September, so I didn't really want it to say summer. I also changed a couple of the colors. I changed one of the greens, and I changed the yellow, just the stuff I had in my stash. So the board is from Michael's. It was this color, and then I stained it with Tim Holtz ink pads. Oh, I can't remember what they're called. They're just little square ink pads, and they're like stain. So I just used a couple of different browns, and then I dry brushed white paint on it. Fabric is from my local quilt store, and the bow, the ribbon for the bow is from Michael's. I think the middle of the bow needs something, but like this time of the year, I'm not going to get beads or sunflowers or something like that. So I'll have to wait till the spring, and when, you know, time comes to put this out, to find something right there. Then I have my 7 swans to rule them all, which is, I have the TV on behind because I want to make sure everything is centered, and I'm off. Of course, everything is backwards. Sorry. I'm going to try not to look at it now that I know that the camera is getting everything in. So 7 Swans to Rule Them All by Screaming Heart Designs on Etsy, and it's stitched 2/2 on a, I forgot to tell you that Sunflowers in Summer is stitched 2/2 on 28 count Autumn Field Lugana. This is stitched 2/2 on a light green unknown linen 28 count, done with Brin and Needles Pirate Glass thread, which I love. I'm just going to bring it. I don't think you can even see the variegation, but it is lovely variegation in it. And it's finished in embroidery hoop. I've been watching Flosstube, like older videos of Flosstubers I've subscribed to but haven't gotten around to. I usually pick 2 or 3 channels and then go way back from the beginning and watch all the way up. So it was Show Me Sarah. In her like first video mentioned wrapping a embroidery hoop with fabric, and then I think her 4th video was a tutorial for it, and I'll link those below. And I thought, oh, that's a cool idea for something, you know, that you don't want to spend a lot of money finishing, and this one was something that I wanted done fairly quickly and not another board. So I bought fabric. It's green with gold design in it from my local quilt store. And you cut 1/2-inch strips and just glue and wrap and glue and wrap. And that's what I did. And then pick is a part of a pick from dollar store. And that's that one. And so that was my FFOs, no finishes, lots of whips. If you're new, I picked out like, I think it was 8 or 9 whips from my pile and said, these are ones I want to finish or make progress on. And so that's kind of like my little rotation. My full coverages, I made percentage goals. So like if it was at 3.5%, I wanted to get to 5. If it was 1.7, I wanted to get to 5. If it was 7.2, I wanted to get to 10, and all that. And then once I got to that goal, then I put it off and then pulled out another full coverage in its place. And I'm going to go through all of my full coverages, making those 5% goals, and then, you know, start around again. Excuse me for 1 second. And then my non-full coverage ones that I pulled out, I just wanted to work on them until I got them finished. So first up was Sunflowers in Summer by Mini Sunflowers. Too many sunflower patterns. Mini Sunflowers by Marion Broom for Heaven and Earth Designs. All my full coverage are Heaven and Earth Designs. So this one, my goal was to get to 50% by the end of the year, which I did. I got to 50%. And I said last video I was going to put it away for December and then pull it out in January and work on it to finish it. But I think I just put it in the rotation and do the 5% because I don't want to get burnt out on doing it. So here we are. This is where I am. Last video I said I had to frog whatever I had done in the middle of the big flower, and I didn't go back and work on it. Instead, I'm working across the top. So I worked on this section, and then I came over and started working on this leaf over here at the top. So when I pull it out again, I'll just continue over to the corner. So there is that one. The next one I was working on was, that is stitched 1/1 on 25 count Daffodil, and I will forget that. Even though I have it written in my notes here, I'm going to forget to tell you every time. And I did, since you saw it last, I did 1,143 stitches on it. See? That's what happens when you say the same thing over 3 times. You think that you guys all know all this information because I've already told you at least twice. Next up was River's Edge by Kevin Daniel for Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm stitching this for my son. He loves ducks. I'm hoping to have it done by next Christmas, maybe. My goal for this was to get to 10%, and I got to 10.01%. I am wondering where it is. One second. It probably got left it got left in the bag because Q-Snap was out of it. And so it didn't even feel like there was anything in the bag. That's not as neat as it usually is. So I'm stitching this 1/1 on Lichen Gray, 28 count. I did 1,185 stitches since you saw it last. And like I said, I'm doing this extreme cross country. So yeah, let's try this side. Maybe you guys see all of it. I hate covering myself up every time I show, because that will be the thumbnail. So this is where I am. So the first color was 37. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, the second color I'm working on, which is the white color, is 3865. And since you saw it last, I finished this section, this wide section going across. I'm not sure which end I ended on. I think it might have been this end over here. Yes, it was, because then I came down and did that little tiny spot right there. So the first color, there are a few stitches in this blank area, but I had nothing to count off of. I didn't want to make a mistake, so there's 18,000 more 3865 stitches left in the design, so I'm sure I will have something to count off to finish that color. But that one is away now. And then the third one that I had in my first group of full coverages was Quick Stitch Color Expansion Pride and Prejudice by Amy Stewart. This is part of the Heroes and Heroines bookshelf, which is much larger. This is being stitched 1/1 on 28 count ice blue. My goal was to get to 10% of this one, and I got to 10.01%. I got to 10% even on River's Edge because I can tell with that as I'm stitching it what percentage I am, a lot more than I can with ones that are just randomly stitched. This one I started stitching diagonally, and then I got almost to the bottom, and then I went up to the top again, and after a while I noticed like a line, and I didn't want lines, so then I just picked the color with the most stitches and started stitching that. So this is where we are with this. So I got 200 stitches done since you last saw it, and that was that green that's kind of swooping up. That's a curtain. I thought it was I didn't know what it was to begin with, but it's a curtain. And I think most of the designs in that big pattern have that kind of curtain in them. So those were the 3 full coverages that I did first. Oops, I just threw that picture down, but I need it back. Okay, so then now I'll show you my non-full coverage before I show you the next 3 full coverage I pulled out. I hope that makes sense. So first up is Strawberry Harvest by Cottage Garden Sampling. See, I was going to say Country Cottage Needleworks then. It's this one. It's part of their A Time for All Seasons. And this is my second from this. Oh, I'm turning it the wrong way. This is my second from this series. I have First Signs of Spring done, and then I have October 31st and I can't remember the one with the snowman. So next I worked on Jumping Jacks by Samsara Designs. Yeah. Sorry, the video stopped. I'm a little lost right now, so give me a second to get everything back to where it should be. Where did it go? I had it all done. Oh, here it is, right in front of me. It's stitched 2/2 on a 28 count Monaco that I dyed with aquamarine Rit dye and then coffee tea dye. There's a lot more stitching in this than it looks like. So I used all the call for threads except for the pumpkins. The pumpkins were called for hazelnut. My hazelnut was a lot browner than I thought a pumpkin should be. So I used DMC 918 and 920 or 921, I'm not sure. And I did vertical rows, 1 row of one color, then the next row the other color. So it gave the ridge kind of look of pumpkins. The last time you saw it, I had up to, oh, let me just fold. Last time you saw it, I had up to this 3rd leaf done. So then I worked on the checkerboard of the purple and ivory, and then I did 2 more leaves and vines. So I have another leaf and some more checkerboard and the moon left to do. So hopefully the next time I work on it, it will get finished and I'll have it for next year. Next, I did the March of the Snowflower Diaries Joyful World Sal. There's 12 free designs, one for each month, and they're all animals instead of like monthly designs, because usually July and November don't work for Canada. Most designers are American, so we always have to adjust them. So here is March. So this is done on a piece of 28 count Lugana that I had in my stash from my Fabric of the Month club I was in years ago, and I just hadn't done them. So then I stuck it in pearl gray and tan Rit dye. I'm trying to remember everything I just said about them. So this side is complete. The bird and the chick are complete. So I just have to finish that side over there, March, and the border. So hopefully next time I stitch on that, I'll get done. And I have January and February fully finished, so I'm at least 3 months ahead. So hopefully by the end of the next year, they will all be done in order. Hopefully. Next up, my last non-full coverage piece I worked on was my Little Things Sal by Stitches Through the Years. That one. The picture, like, it's lovely to see up close, but this is the best you're gonna get for a picture of the full design. And this is big, and it's stitched to 1/2 on 36 count light mocha, and it's going to be really hard to show you guys. It's really wrinkly because it's been sitting in the Q-snap. Yeah, I'm just going to have to show the whole piece. So this is everything that I have completed. It took me a while to get the border figured out, but I have got the border, except for a little bit of the dark line down here, all done on that side. I think last time I was working on this motif, so I finished it, got that one done, got that one done, got that one started. This is the last one. And when I get that done, I'll flip over to the other side before I do the big chunk of color at the bottom. So hopefully you guys can see that. Now, the 3 full coverages that I pulled out after I was done. The first one, 3, were they're here, but where are the pictures? The pictures. Sorry. Nope. 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 Anyway, I have this one. This is Mini Beachcomr Bounty by Amy Stewart. This one I started for my May. Is all about me, so I didn't have a whole lot done with it. It is done 1/1 on 28 count aquamarine. My goal for this one is to get to 5%. I got 142 stitches done on it. I'm at 2.81% now. Oh, there's my other pictures. So here we are. Not a whole lot. I stitched the royal blue in, so when I getting to 5%, hopefully we'll get a little bit more of the picture to show you. Then I pulled out Queen of Hearts, which is by Rachel Anderson. This was my birthday start a 1.5 years ago. Not a lot done. I will tell you that. My goal is to get to 5%. It'll probably take me 6 months to get there. I got, let's see, I got 708 stitches done. It's stitched 1/1 on 28 count dahlia. Here we are. We're at 1.53%. So 6 months to get to about 5%. But I'm plugging away at it. Not a whole lot to see. A lot of black. I have some 814, some 815, I think, and some 154. So there's 4 colors in there, even though it probably doesn't look like it. That one. And my third full coverage that I pulled out was Mini Warm at Home by Irina Garmashov. I hope I pronounced that right, which is my monochromatic kitty, because our kitty has lots of different colors in her, and finding a cat that looks like her is very difficult. So that one. It's done 1/1 on 28 count ivory. I got 408 stitches and I'm at 4.15%. So my goal is to get to 5, so should not take very long. So here's where we are with that. I love stitching on this, even though you wouldn't think it, because it's all like black, gray, and white, a little bit of bluey gray. But yep. And that light stuff is the cat's fur, so she's really close to the left top corner. There's that one. So that is all of the whips that I have had before, that I've shown you before, and how I worked on them. I have one more, which once again is on the floor, because that's where everything went when I was done showing you. And oh no, it's not on the floor. Sorry, it's not on the floor. It's here. So I told you last time about 2 sales that I am signing up for that start on the 1st of January. The Book It sale that Helen D is talking about starting, which is to stitch on projects from books or magazines that you have that you love when you pick up the book or the magazine and then you never start them. And I have about 13, I think I wrote down. And my son randomly picked a color, and that's the one I'm going to start. But there's no timeline, there's no section you have to stitch. So that's my kind of sale. The other one was the Pinker and Pumpkin 6 house sale. I think I got that right. That I heard about on Darlene Dion's last floss too. But she said that Mama Loves You GB mentioned it on hers, but I haven't gotten around to watching it. So I'm going to do that one. So it's basically Melissa from Pinker and Pumpkin has tons of free designs. She has, I think, 36 houses. So you pick 6 of the houses that you want to stitch and stitch them throughout the year. And I said they were my kinds of sales because I had no deadlines and I had no section I had to stitch in a week. And then the week before, or the last few days of November, one of the girls from 2 Bay Stitchers posted up on her Instagram that they were starting a sale on the 1st of December, and it was going to be Darlene Dion's So Much Snow. And I said, yep, sign me up, because it's Darlene's design, and she's a friend of mine, and I really love her designs, and I love snowmen, and it was small, and no deadlines, and blah, blah, blah. So I was doing really good for the first 5 days, and then I hit the first snowman, and then I was under the weather, so I haven't done much in the last few days. But this is where I am. It is stitched on 28 count coffee Lugana, all the called for flosses, except for the snowflakes in the words for the O's and the falling snow, I've added some silver chronic just to give it a bit of sparkle. Not sure that you see it. And then I hit the snowman, and I've stitched him 3 times. Excuse me. And he's still off a row. But I'm going to make it work. Sorry. And it's so adorable. I just love it. And then last week I was going through Instagram, and I think it was Charlene. Was it you, Charlene? I can't remember if it was you or not, but I think it was. Posted up a design, and I went, oh my god, I'm ordering that now. And then I looked at her like the description, and there was a sale, and I said, oh well, I can join in another sale. And It is Quaker tiles, Canadian flag, and this is my first Quaker, and I just, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to have that now. It's 410 by 210, which isn't small, but I think I'm doing it 1/1 on 28 count, like I do my full coverage, to bring down the size of it. I haven't decided. Excuse all my scribbles. I was trying to figure out if I might convert it to sulky, because one of them I had ordered Christmas red for another project that was one of my options for the book itself, but the other two colors, because there's only 3 DMC colors. Oh, and there are other flags. If you're not Canadian and you like the Quaker flag design, Vivsters, which is who is the designer, she has about a half a dozen or maybe even more different flags. So there's the US one and the Union Jack one. I know I saw the Swiss one there, and maybe the French flag, and you know, there's lots of different flags there. So the SAL is the 2024 Quaker flag SAL, and it's being hosted by Wombat Hollow Crafts on Instagram and Daffodil Design Studio, and I'm going to link all of that below. It starts the 26th of January, so there's lots of time if you're interested in joining. And like I said, I was thinking about sulky, and I went and found a conversion for DMC to sulky, and the 2 colors that were listed for the other 2 colors I haven't found anywhere. I ordered this from Millions of Stitches on Etsy, and I asked them, and they said no, they didn't have those colors. And I searched all the other Canadian cross-stitch stores that I knew that had online stores. I can't find them. I did order 2 other colors that I'm hoping will work. I'll compare them to the DMC listed, and if they work, sulky it is. If they don't work, it's DMC. So that is that. I made a couple of project bags. For those of you who are new, I'm not a sewer. It's a good thing I'm not, because my room would be full of fabric. But these are for me, and as long as they don't fall apart, they work. So I made this one with lupins. I love lupins. They grow wild here along the roads, and like where my mom is from, they were everywhere in the summertime, and oh, they were gorgeous. And I made this one, and I'm just a sucker for purple, and it's got butterflies, purple butterflies. Yeah, those work for me. So other than that, purchases, I think, are the last thing I have to show you. First one, I went to Value Village here. We don't get much here in cross-stitch in thrift stores. Like was it Helen D I watched one time, and she went and she had found all the memorabilia, reindeers and the sleigh, and like, I'm like, we get nothing like that in the thrift store. But I happened to be in a couple of weeks ago, and I got this container full of DMC. Not the container, but all the DMC. It's like 79 cents skein here at Michael's, and I think it was 4 bags. I paid, I think, around $22 for all of it, and like they're not full, but definitely a good value for the amount I paid for it. And speaking of my lovely friend Darlene Dion, she had a Black Friday sale, and I picked up a couple of patterns. I picked up Winter Spool, another cute snowman design, and I picked up let me see where it is here. All roads lead to the Stitchy store, which I wish we had a Stitchy store, but I thought it was so cute. I may change the colors of some of the houses. I have to pull out the DMC and see. A couple of them look a little darker than what I would like. And that was all of that. Let me just check my notes, make sure I didn't forget anything. Hopefully the 2 videos will splice well together and you won't notice. Yeah, I think that's everything. The only other thing I wanted to get feedback on was I'm starting my Home for Christmas. Christmas Eve, I think I'm starting it. And now that I have my little arm thing with the phone attachment, I was kind of thinking of doing a little video overhead of like how I start my full coverage. And someone has asked me, several people have asked me in the past if I do Stitch With Me videos, and I've never had a setup to be able to do them. But I can do that now with this, and I'm just wondering if you guys would be interested in that. Just leave a comment below if you are. If I don't get any comments saying yes, I'm interested, then I'll assume that you're not, and I won't do it. So either you'll see me then, or you'll see me in the new year. Have a happy holiday season, everyone, and I'll see you soon.